meeting. It's more of a report in terms of what's going on with our community with respect to finances, with respect to budgeting, with respect to what's going on. So we need to inform you, because behind the scenes there are situations that are challenging. And the best way to resolve these issues and to bring them up to par is for us to inform you, because you are, after all, the body of this congregation. So first of all, let me say that, after Reverend Milhan left, I was chosen to be the chairman of the council. Chairman of the council, ad hoc council. At present, we have as members of the council Brother Wilson, Brother Adiel Chavez, Brother Christian Seka, Reverend Juanita, Sister Mimi Yukawa, Sister Ayako Heller, and we also have Pastor Joshua, and we're also bringing in, Brooklyn. Yes, so all of that is involved in our work at present. So right now, we're going to just briefly look at a statement of our present situation. The pie kind of shows you the reality of how we have income and expense for the month of May. So for example, in the month of May of 2025, we didn't bring in June because it's not over yet, okay? So in May, for example, we had rent. We had to pay rent. We have to pay rent for here, by the way. We pay for upstairs on the 7th floor, and we get this on the house. So it costs us $1,200 for the month, which is 9% of the total. We brought in an income. Of course, rent would be an expense, but we brought in an income, $4,600 in tithing. And we have a payroll of $7,610. I'm sorry? Oh, it's an expense. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. The total, where's the total? The 10,000, oh, okay, I see now. Revenue, yes. $10,565 is the total revenue that we brought in for the month of May. And the pie actually shows the breakdown in our expenditures, okay? So for example, our expenditure is $1,200 for the rent. And we have the payroll overall is $7,610. By payroll, what am I talking about? I'm talking about basically our pastoral staff are on payroll, okay? So altogether for the month, they've received a total of $7,610. Okay, all right. So that's interesting. The tithe says $4,600.
That's how we pay head
Ah,
office.
okay, all right. Okay, now I understand. We offer up to the head office as a community $4,600. We offer it up. We make an offering above, so we receive something and then we make an offering to the head office. Okay, so in other words, the pie is showing how the breakdown of what we bring in is divided. And as you can see on the left, our expenditures are more than what we brought in. You know, $13,892 was the total expenditure out of $10,565. So we have a net loss for that month of $3,327. Do you understand that? Okay. So that's, take a good look at it. You can take a picture of it if you wish. So for the month of May, we operated on a net loss. Let's have another slide, please. Okay, so right here, what you have is a situation that's showing you how our bank balance has been working out since January. You know, in January we had somewhere between $12,000, between maybe $13,000 year to date. But as January went to February, went to March, in April we had a little bit of a boost, and then in May, so as of the end of May, in the bank, we had a positive balance of $4,880. I mean, there's a story behind this graph. It's basically showing you how from January until May, how with income coming in and expenses also coming in, how it's been balancing out. But reality is, you know, we're very close to hitting zero, and we don't want that. We don't, you know, you don't want to have like our bank account is not a credit card where we're going to accumulate debt. So that's where we are right now. It's a little different because we are in a new month, but we haven't completed all of the expenditures. By the way, this work is done by our treasurer, Mr. Isaac. You know, he's not just getting our, music going here and all, but he's also keeping our books. So let's get the next one. Okay, so here's what's happening with us as a community overall. Okay, so just to give you an idea of what this is a donor report for the month of May. All right, so for the month of May, we don't have names here. What we have are 1, 2, 3, if you notice on the bottom. Each of those numbers represents an individual or a person or a family who's tithing, who's giving, who's offering. So for example, the largest donation, as you can see, number 1, arrived at $1,600. That family or that person made an offering. The next person, number 2, $1,000. Number 3, somewhere between maybe about $700. And then as we move towards, the 16 to, 58, the offerings decline. It's kind of declined pretty rapidly, if you notice. Between the 1 and 2, there's a substantial decline, right? About a $600 decline, and then the declines get less and less, but at the same time, the point being that the top 10 donors account for $6,403, and then the remaining donors make up the difference. So what does this say? It really shows that, of course, we have to do internal changes here in terms of how we're spending our money. It's not just about receiving. It's also on how we're managing our expenditures. in terms of the people we're paying, why they're being paid what they're being paid. Maybe some people may not need to get paid at all. That's possible. We have to look into that, and we are working on that. But I do want to appeal to you and show you the nature of our income situation. Now, obviously, not everyone is here, but you know who you are. So if it is at all possible on your part to make a greater effort in making your offering and making your tithings more consistent, that would also help out. Because as you can see, the gap, if you took this line and you ran it down and made say a triangle, there's a lot of empty space there. But again, it's a question of what can you do? I'm not trying to sell you. I'm just trying to ask you, if you find value in our community, if you find value in helping this community, this particular community, then review your own finances, review your own situation, and ask yourself, can you do more than you presently are doing? Sometimes some of us may not even think of it in terms of tithes. We think of it in terms of, well, I'm here today, I'll put something in the basket, like an offering. A tithe is more of an understanding that a certain percentage of your total income goes to make the offering. It's not an afterthought. It's actually a first thought. If you have say $100, $10 is the tithe, or 10%. So the question is, let me not spend the 90 and then whatever is left over I give. Can you offer the 10 and then work your budget out of the remaining 90? The 10 really representing the totality of what you have, the first offering to God. Oftentimes the best sheep was the one that was offered so that God's blessing can come on the rest. So we can think that way in terms of how we are budgeting our income. I do it, and if I'm able to receive income, and I do, from my job, then I have to look and say, what is 10% of what comes to me? Not that's after Caesar takes his, So you have to pay taxes and all that. But what comes to me? What comes to me now? Can I offer 10% of that? Ideally, I should be able to. Ideally, I have to make effort to. But it's up to each of you in terms of how you're thinking along the lines of the value of your offering. So, again, it's if we're able as a community to make a better tithe, or really make the tithe, wherever you are, is that a tithe? Is that 10% of what I bring in? That's something that you have to examine yourself in terms of your personal situation, okay? Are there any questions? Yes. Let's get a comment.
Hello. Yeah, thank you, Reverend Edner, for your presentation. My question is more to what is our donation going towards? And status, yeah.
Can we put it back?
Okay, so I don't have my glasses on, but if I give $100 today, about $60 goes to payroll. And so we have 3 pastors. And that's more than any community of our size. So we have a lot of staff. At the same time, there's nothing going on during the week. There's no programs, no initiatives. If the staff we have would provide some value for the community during the week, I would feel more inclined to donate. Right now, there is a sermon on Sunday, and the church is closed. There's nothing going on here during the week. So I would like to see that our donation goes to something that benefits the community. So is there something that can be promised that over the next month we can see some changes on that front? Either we lower our expenses, and that way we balance our budget, but also that we can see something being, a pastor is more than just giving a sermon on Sunday. We will not grow our community this way.
Okay.
So that's what I would like to see. And I know you guys are doing a great job as a council, but that's what I was hoping to see after Milan is gone and we have a chance to make a change. So I hope to see more of that. Anyway, thank you.
Right, yeah, I noticed you stood up, so Pastor, you can, your best position to answer.
Thank you. Thank you, Magnus, for the query and the question. So in regards to further programs that we're going to have, the church not necessarily is closed, but yes, our main program is the Sunday service, which you're all gathered here for as well. Although we also do host a nightly prayer vigil that we welcome you to attend. I know we haven't had the live program, but we do have it every night, Monday through Thursday. Friday, we're going to be joining together in Belvedere, which is a New York connected program of Queens, Manhattan, and Belvedere coming together. But other than the night vigil programs itself, we also welcome anyone that has interest in their own kind of like ministries or interest in creating certain programs or events. We want to also share those with the community as well. We will be having other events coming up, such as we're looking into hosting a Hyojung workshop, which is kind of going over the discourse, but inviting guests, all of us as well, to come to that workshop. And we're planning to host that next month at some point. But also, if anyone has any ideas and activities or gatherings, I know Bishop Joy hosts line dancing after service at one point. But we encourage anyone's interest, and if you share it with me, then we can make that public and share it with the community as well. And yeah, and then we can have more programs throughout the week as well. So that's something I wanted to share a little bit on. And if you have any suggestions or ideas or what else we can offer, please let me know, and then we can get back to you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to also say that we have at our disposal the Harlem Center. You know, of course, here, we may have certain activities here, but we also have the Harlem Center, which is fully 24/7 at our disposal for activities that can occur during the week. I would think mostly around the area of workshops or education, ACLC activities. I understand there was some talk about having a breakfast program for the ACLC, at least the ones we know in New York.
And I'm going to be doing a circle of healing, and sort of like a forum on healing and what we can do for our health. And that'll be real soon, okay? It'll be real soon. It'll be announced soon, okay?
We want to, one thing we must do is be consistent in how we interact, bring forth information to you. So I would say every month, we should have, the council has suggested that we bring to you a report in terms of our budgeting, whatever changes happen in terms of expenditures. I agree. Look, we have to account more fully. Not that, look, I mean, this payroll is not, on one hand, it's a large part of what we're bringing in, but in terms of what actually goes in the pockets of the pastors, that's nothing to really brag about. I mean, it's not a lot of income. It's not, so I don't want to press the point like, we're spending a lot of money out there and giving that away. But we may definitely, at least even temporarily, need to reduce that for a period of time until we get our financial house in order. Okay? Are there any other questions? Oh, yes, you wanted to make a comment, right? Yeah.
Hello. Yeah. Actually, there's two things I'll bring forward. One is mechanics about donation. Everybody has Netflix, Con Edison, whatever, right? And more often than not, it's my case, right? I don't pay those things, right? It just come out of my bank account, right? So it's up to you, it's up to everybody how to do that. Decide how much you're gonna give a week or month, whatever, $50, $25, whatever. But make it recurrent. So you don't have to worry about checks, you don't have to worry about cash. The money come out of your credit card or your bank account, either you're here or not, and it's consistent. It's income that's is coming out, you're contributing to the community, right? So just a suggestion. There is some technology involved. If you like to talk to you, please text me on Messenger, or we talk here on during the lunch. I can explain how to do that. It's very simple. But think about it, right? Whatever you like can contribute, make recurrent, so we don't have to worry about it. You decide how much money you're going to give per month, and dividing 4, that's it. By the way, there's one other thing. If you divide 58 people with the cost of the church, that's $65 per week, or $260 per month. That's the cost of maintaining this community. You might be above that, great. You might be below that. Think about it, what you can do about it, but that's the cost. If you divide the cost of the church per capita, it costs $260 per month, right? It's a lot, I can understand, but having this number in your head help you make some kind of decisions and improve our situation. Anyway, thank you. Thank you.
If there are no other questions, I mean, we'll close out. Commentary? Yes.
I'm so brave. Okay. I give tithes, so my understanding of tithes and donation is different. So tithes is like my obligation. So whatever I have income, absolutely I give 10%. So if I don't have income, I don't have 10%. So I feel that I'm not worried. I don't feel burdened. If I don't have income, I don't need to give. But whatever I give, I receive income. I give the gross of my income. So yeah, automatic. So whatever I receive, automatic. Automatic give text. Then yeah, and also in the community, the most important what I learned, even though I'm not good in witnessing. Number one, really, it's witnessing everywhere, especially this time. True Mother is really, witnessing. Number one goal is witnessing. Second, witnessing. Third, witnessing. So that's really supposed to be the main activities in our community. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Gentlemen. Yes, Pastor.
All right. Good morning, family. All right. This is our beautiful community, right? And I believe right now we are living in an era we don't need to be too much alarming about, some situations that's going on. We need to really go beyond so many stuff. Right now we saw of course, everybody knows how much everybody gives every month. But the situation was just presented, and we see right now there's a loss. So, to me, one of the best ways I would suggest would not be to make people, say, okay, anyway, I've given my 10%, so whatever else loss is there is up to them because I've really fulfilled my responsibility. It doesn't work like that. For the top donors and the less donors, if we see right now the situation, we say, all right, right now our church is going through that loss. Can we just make a contribution, one Sunday, so that everybody can really help? In this case, the top donors will feel concerned that there's an issue, we are trying to solve that. And the less donors will feel concerned that, okay, there's an issue, let's just try to help that so that the community can grow. That's a way for us to come out of the hole. So in this case, it's not going to be very judgmental and say that, okay, I am one of the best donors, so if there's a loss, let them really increase their monthly donations, but I'm okay, so I don't feel judged. But it's really a sense of more ownership, a sense of more, what I can do if we are in an alarming situation. So that is a way for us to really come out of that. And this one time, that can be, we can ask for people to make that donation to help, fill that gap. So once this is leveraged, then we can continue, and of course, we continue with our tithing and everything else. And that should not be all the time also, because we know that our church has been going through a lot. Like if we take the case of Japan, people have donated in a way that really the government, it really raised a red flag to the government. So we don't want to be in that situation. So if there's an issue, we have some things, we have some gap, let's just make a one Sunday donation, asking everybody to, okay, let's do something to help this. That is one. And the second one is, of course, personally, when I came here from Queens Church, we started like a witnessing program, and I made a kind of plan for everybody to get involved in witnessing and education. And because we had a goal for the year, we had a goal for the Chonil Centum inauguration, we wanted to bring something to true parents. And we put the church on that path. And even though we had divided the whole church into different family groups, not so many people sent anything. So it was like people were, even though we really try to encourage people, and this is not because of money or whatever, but that is our responsibility as, Blessed Central families. We need to really reach out. So whichever way we can to help people really get involved in that, that's what we do. So, of course, this moment has passed. We just finished with the inauguration and everything. So we are working on new ways now to start back the witnessing. And of course, as yesterday we had that summit, and we came out of the summit with a new goal. And this new goal comes with the new way, new strategies, and we need to have everybody to stand up, to get involved in that witnessing. So this is why probably we might have some down, moment that there's no activities for now, but again, activities are always going on. Every week, every Wednesday and Friday, people are praying, and every night people are praying. Activities are going on, and everybody needs to get involved in that. It's not that, okay, we just see the pastor come in and preach and that's it. But activities are always going on. But how much are we really involved in that? That's also the point. Because if we don't get involved in some activities, we cannot know they're going on. So that is really where we are. And really, our church, we are really trying to make it. We're not many. We're really trying to make it. We don't even have a full-time pastor. We don't have a full-time pastor. So all of these are really things that need to be worked out, and really get everybody really involved in the witnessing activities, as Wilson said this morning, worship or the witnessing. We need to get people involved in that. And not only for money, but this is how we can survive, through witnessing. If we don't witness, we cannot really survive. We need to witness, and also, of course, to the pastoral team, we need to do outreach. That's the pastoral team activities. We really need to do outreach. Visit people, calling people, that is very important. There's so many people who are part of the list. I personally, some people ask me to invite them. I have not done it. I have not done it. But we also, as pastors, we need to change that. We really need to change that right now and get everybody with the new goal we have, to have 210 new active members in 2 years is not easy. Last year we had, I think, 60 or 61 or 65, and we could barely have it. But this time, as we have those, the goal is much higher. So let's really, as pastors, first get into work, and also for the entire church community, for our community to exist. We were in the big room. We have been pushed out into that small room. So we don't want to be pushed out from the entire building. So the only reason we can do is really witnessing. And of course, as I say, if there's a gap, let's really do a Sunday collection and ask everybody to do whatever they can, just in order to fill that gap. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor. Is that it? Okay. Okay. All right. Very good. So thank you, everyone. This is the beginning of the conversation. We'll be getting back to you and informing you. And if any of you have suggestions on how we can better improve, please give it to the pastor or bring it to me, the council chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for joining the community meeting today. So yes, as Reverend Enner said, if you have any questions, you can come to the counselor, come to the pastoral team. But yes, thank you, everyone, for joining. And we have fellowship and refreshments in the other room next door. So thank you. Have a great week. Also, there is the program in Belvedere from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. with true grandchildren. So if you're able to attend, we encourage you to also join. And the sun's coming out, so be good.